In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Bucks Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Two Bucks Sports Show, the last one before we start the Snowmageddon, I guess, is coming tomorrow. So this may be the last time you see Uncle Buck this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it's forecasted to be here till Friday night. So fingers crossed I could be here tomorrow, although there's been a lot of closed-door meetings regarding planning and meeting with all the different aldermen and how everybody can help us and how we can help. A lot of that stuff going on right now is it seems pretty imminent that this is going to happen. And you deal with a lot of speculation. You'd see a lot of stuff. Well, it could snow, it could ice, it couldn't ice, and it may or may not, 50-50. This seems 100% is coming, 100% is going to be ice. The only variable is how well will these wood poles stay up, and we'll see.
Yeah, again, I'm Rusty Wood, and this is Drew Gann. We are the Two Bucks Sports Show, proudly brought to you by FanDuel here on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. It's funny you mentioned that. I went and got gas yesterday, and while I was there, I thought, let me get some soup. Let me get some a couple things for the weekend. So I walked into Kroger on Truce Parkway in Memphis and East Memphis. If you know, you know. So I walk in there. Shout out Andre. I'll see you about 1 o'clock. I'm coming there after the show. About 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'll be rolling up in the hospital. But anyway, I go to Kroger yesterday to get a couple things. Parking lot is just nuts. The store is covered up. They're out of basically everything. And when I walk in, all the grocery lines are like a mile long.
Yep.
I get what I got to get. I go up there to check out, and I walk right up to one of the self-checkout conveyor belts, check out and leave. My only mistake was not buying a lottery ticket because I'm not sure how I'll ever get that lucky again to where I literally just walked up to a self-checkout and left.
Yeah. If there's one thing that's worse than a Southerner in a snowstorm, it's a Southerner knowing a snowstorm's coming because, buddy, it is. Even the Dollar General, the parking lots are slammed. I was able to go and get everything I needed yesterday. Thankfully, the poor planners are waiting till today. I went and got, space heaters, filled up my propane tanks, got the little mini propane tanks. I've, lots of canned foods and stuff like that. And one good thing, like I live in the city, and so I live on the same general vicinity as the hospital and my office, which is very critical to like getting restoring power and helping people that are hurt. So like we have to kind of focus in my area. And so that's a benefit, but I mean, catastrophe is catastrophe. Like we don't know.
It is
we
what
don't
it
know.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. So, we're going to get yesterday. I said my real or counterfeit take yesterday, Drew, was I think that massive snow projections are done by grocery stores when they order too much product. They're like, hey, pump those are rookie numbers. I need you to pump those up. We ordered too much bread. But it looks like we are going to get something, which takes us into our first segment of buffoonery. Our Therapy Thursday is going to look a little different today. Instead of therapy, we're going to offer you some advice around snow, enjoying the snow, and snow travel.
That music just gets me every time. We're the two bucks.
It's just such a change from all of our other ones, and that's why I leave it, because it's just so starkly different.
It's the best. It's the best. Everybody, if you're listening to it in audio form, you just assume like a BetterHelp commercial is starting, and like, oh, this is where the prepackaged commercials start, and it's like, nope, that's just our segment coming.
I just found it on Canva. I looked up somber music, and that's what came up, and that's what we got.
You hit it. You nailed it. So our this is the $2. We've been best friends for over a decade. We do our first segment of every show that we do, which is every day at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. We do this. The first segment's for us. It's tomfoolery, shenanigans. We do all kinds of stuff in this. And on Thursdays, we do therapy, where we just either let out something that we've got pent up, or in this case, Rusty, it sounds like we're going to give some advice. And I will be serious in this one, okay?
Yeah, there's some serious here. There's also, like, we can talk about some of the lighthearted stuff. Apparently, King Meeks is staying at work. They're giving them rooms to be there. I've heard of some other people doing that. I know my previous employer, they're shutting clinics down on Monday and half a day Tuesday. Like, there's a lot of people making plans because this is called a historic storm. Like, all of the pieces kind of came together with warm air, cold air, the troughs, all those different things hit just right for this to be they're going to have snow from Texas to New England. Like, it's just going to be a wide swath of the U.S. that's hit by this. So I thought we would be ahead of the curve and give y'all some tips and some pointers. My first one, unless you are bleeding and you got an emergency or you have tickets to the Grizzlies game on Sunday, stay your butt at home. Right? Because I got tickets to the game on Sunday. Stay your butt.
You're not going.
Oh, I will find a way to be there. If I got to take my bicycle, I get down there.
You'll have courtside seats.
That's it. I want to show up in the Pinnacle level, but y'all see me sitting next to the coach over there being like, hey, man, go ahead and put Cedric back in.
Yeah. It'd be like a COVID game. Sunday's game. Yeah, I mean, stay at home. Like, there's one thing. I grew up in the country. So did you. A lot of people that listen to us grow up in country, have lots of land or plenty of land to have fun outside.
Yeah.
Have fun. Do it at your house. Don't try to go meet people. Don't try to go and do everything else. Like, snow is different. If you have a lot of fluffy snow and you've got a car that's front wheel drive, like, you could probably get a lot of places you want to go. But this is ice. Don't risk it. And I'll tell it to you from the power company perspective. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm an electrical engineer over
AKA Power Ranger.
A Power Ranger over a local power company in North Mississippi. And there's nothing that would impede our progress getting the power back on than people who don't need to be on the road, being on the road and just getting in the way. It's dangerous enough. We're talking ice here. Like, our trucks are four-wheel drive, but nothing's ice proof. So just do not go out there and block up traffic. You're prohibiting people from getting power on, as well as just putting yourself in danger. And what's the payoff? Being a little nosy, seeing what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, your yard and your front porch look like everybody else's, look like the rest of town. You don't need to see what it looks like. Like, just imagine your friend's house and Walmart looking like your front yard. Nailed it. Yeah. One of my favorite snow stories, though. Yeah. One of my favorite snow stories, though, was I was right out of grad school. I was working at a PT office in Bartlett on Highway 64, and I rode my four-wheeler to work that morning because we got like 6 inches of snow. And we still went to work, and I lived like 3 miles away. So I rode my four-wheeler in and was hanging out having coffee with my boss in the front lobby. And we're looking out at Stage Road, Highway 64. And he goes, I wonder what other people are doing while we're up here. And about that time, somebody in one of those Razor, like side-by-side UTVs, just comes just doing donuts on Highway 64 in front of the clinic. And with my coffee cup, I just go, that?
I do get a good kick out of like seeing videos of people in the snow, because it will be, I guarantee you, there will be about the time when I'm ready, we're starting to make progress and we're, getting power back on. You'll see somebody in a 96 F-150 pulling a dude on water skis right down the highway. Like it'll happen.
It will happen.
And I have to tip my hat, because it's like,
we don't know how to act with it.
In small town America, you create your own fun. And so there is like a tip of the hat that happens. And I'm like, you probably shouldn't do that. But like, yeah, at one time I built a snowman and filled it full of fireworks with my cousins and blew it to smithereens. Like, you create your own fun in the South.
Listen, I vividly remember being on the farm in Shibuya with my dad and everybody, and we got like a rogue, like 7 or 8 inches, which we never get in South Central Mississippi. And we were out doing donuts in the hayfield on a 3-wheeler. Like, math,
dangerous.
Like 3 wheels doing donuts, not good.
No.
But like, there's a saying in the South where when you're not acting right, that you forgot your raisin. And in the South, we forget our raisin when the snow comes, because we don't get it very often. The old joke used to be, as like a college football championship up north, it doesn't happen all that often, but the last 2 kind of have. But like, we don't know how to act. Last 3, I forgot about Michigan. We don't know how to act with the snow. So we get out, we buffoon and tomfool and shenan, knowing that we will shenan again. And I'm making up words as we go. Tomfool, buffoon, and shenan.
I love fixing the tenses of the words that to make it fit. Yeah.
It's like if you let somebody shenan once, you best believe they're gonna shenan again, and that's us out in the snow. And so stay home, stay on your land, in your yard, like ride the sled down your neighborhood street or your front yard. Don't go out. Now, if you do go out, make sure you collect some of the fresh snow. Make sure it's not yellow or dingy or been walked on or anything. You bring it back inside. You add a little sweetened condensed milk and a little bit of sugar and some vanilla, and you mix it up real good. Throw it in your freezer, and make sure you have snow cream, because snow cream is an elite snow snack. And it's one you can't get all that often unless you get a heavy snow like they're calling us to have over the next few days, which here in Memphis, it is a bit different than Ripley. Y'all are trending more towards ice and sleet.
Yeah.
We're talking about like a 1/4 inch or less of ice where we are, but 3 to 6 inches of snow.
Yeah. Another piece of advice, and this is just me being a good citizen and what I've been talking about and worrying about for the last week now, is if you are out of power, that we've seen a lot of people that just want to be good neighbors, and they'll go see a tree that's fallen on a power line, and they're like, oh, my power's out. Don't go get a chainsaw and start sawing on trees or pulling limbs off of trees that got power lines wrapped up in them. We've seen that a lot. We've had some close calls I've just heard of in the past where it's like we get ready. Like, I'm the guy with the controls. I'm the one that's like a lot of times turning the power back on remotely because we have that capability. And we just have good neighbors that are just trying to help. And been told way before I got here of, like, hey, let's go check this one house before we turn the lights back on to make sure, just double check, double and triple check. And we do that. It's good practice. And thankfully they did, because there was a guy in a bucket of his tractor, raised it up, and was untangling phases of a power line, who would have died if they would have just not checked again. And every power company everywhere have these stories. And so just listen, I know you're impatient. I know you're cold. I know you're hungry and you can't watch Netflix or listen to the $2 Sports Show, but like, just if you're looking for something to do, go play outside, pray. Like, I don't know, like, just whatever you do, do not play around power lines.
Before you lose power, hopefully we're not, but before you do, go ahead and bake an extra set of cookies or a pound cake, or make something that you can take to the linemen that you know in your life that are going to be out there, the electrical engineers, people who are going to be out there in this trying to get your power restored. If you know them, make them a little something, some soup, a pound cake, some cookies, hot chocolate, something, because they're going to be out in the cold. and give it to them tonight if you can, because they're going to be out in the cold for the next couple of days, working, being away from their family, so they can make yours warm again. So if you know any linemen, like offensive, defensive, or electrical, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Make them a snack, take it to them tonight. They will greatly appreciate it for what they're about to do.
That's one thing my boss had brought up in a meeting of the whole community, alderman, sheriff department, the whole shooting match, is like, we worry about food if it goes like, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, like if the city is out, we're going to have some food to feed these dudes, because linemen are absolute like superstars, and they don't get talked about enough, but they're like trained robots. You give them a hot meal, once a day, they will work for 16 hours straight. No complaining. Like, they're just, the job is at hand. It's got to get done. And if you know of anybody that, just pack them a sandwich. We told all of our guys, like, hey, make you a half dozen sandwiches, put them in a sack, keep them on you, just in case we're out here working, 6 or 7 days with no power.
Exactly. So make sure you take care of those that are going to take care of you. Do a good turn on somebody, and will always come back to you. Speaking of doing a good turn, the Grizzlies took a turn last night against the Hawks that we'll deep dive on here in a minute. We'll talk about it.
This is the $2 Sports Show on Bluff City Media's YouTube and X page and Rusty's Facebook page for his grandparents. We meet here every single day on our lunch break, 11 a.m., and you can find us here. If you have not already, please just go ahead and like the stream here. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps us out, puts us in front of more people. And if you want to stay in tune with when every show comes on and goes live, Bluff City Media, you can hit the little bell icon, and your phone will notify you anytime we go live. You won't even have to set a reminder, or no sticky notes needed to remind you when the $2 Sports Show comes on if you hit the bell.
That's exactly right. It'll pop right up on your feed so that you can watch it. But I knew pretty early last night that I was not going to be vested as a fan in that Hawks game. When we're starting a 6'5" shooting guard at center, I was like, all right, I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to get upset. I'm also not going to blame G. This is not me blaming Jitty, but I was just like, if they're not going to take it serious, I'm not going to take it serious. And so I enjoyed it. It was a good game. It was back and forth. We had an engaged Ja. There were a lot of things to like about the game last night. And the fact that we lost didn't bother me in the slightest, because it was an unserious starting lineup. And I get it. It's for, you could talk about trade posturing or keeping Jock on the bench, whatever. If that's the case, start Gigi. But they didn't take it serious. I ain't taking it serious.
I just disagree with you. It's not an ideal situation, and there's no one that you could really plug in. And I'm going to give the case for starting Gigi. Again, we're talking about the fifth dude in a rotations that 10, 11 dudes play. They all play equal minutes, and he got 20. He got 20 minutes, and Gigi got 20 or 25 minutes. Gigi, or I think they all got 20 minutes. Basically, what I'm saying. And so, the reason why you start him is because what have we been talking about with the role players? Jock's been really good lately. Gigi's been really good lately. KCP's been really good lately, and they've all been playing the same role in this team. And so, why mess up the juju for one game and Santi going out? They're all going to play the same minutes anyways. And Gigi was a positive. You got out to a really good start in this game. You got up 11 in the first, 10 points halfway through early in the first quarter. I don't have any problem.
Wait, you said Gigi? Gigi was a positive.
Giddy was a positive. Yeah.
Just 21 minutes
plus
he
minus.
He was a -1. It was basically a neutral. He wasn't a positive. He wasn't bad. He was just a non-entity. My thing is, if you're going to do, ultimately Gigi could be our starting 3. You could have started him at the 4 and Jaren at the 5. I have more of an issue with the minutes, which we'll talk about here in a minute. The fact that, I don't know, here we are 42 games into a season, and we're talking about the same stuff that got Taylor Jenkins fired last year, is the fact that their starters and star players
got Taylor Jenkins fired last year.
Well, yeah. But Jalen Johnson, 39 minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 33. Dyson Daniels, 35. Jaren, 32. Cedric,
and I'm
26.
with you on that,
Ja,
but that's
30.
total. I'm with you on that, but that's two totally different arguments. That's two totally different.
I'm
cases.
saying we're going to talk about that in a minute. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really not like this conversation is going further than I even care for it to go because I really am not bothered by it. It's goofy. It doesn't make any sense.
You
was
said unserious franchise.
It's an unserious move. To start Jitty at the center is an unserious move.
It's a one-off. It's a one-off. I'm not stumping for it, and you shouldn't be irate about it.
I'm not irate. I said literally, it made me not care. It made me not care about the game last night.
That's a pretty emotional opinion, though.
I'm not going to let this hurt me. Like, this is how we're going to be. I'm not going to let, and I didn't. I had a lovely evening last night. I watched the game
right off the rip, behind the back, after
it was
the
great.
Steal, layup.
Great.
I mean,
and what did I say in the group chat?
The only shot attempt he took the whole game. So,
and what did I say in the group chat? I said I'm fine with Jitty starting.
But here we are talking. You led the conversation saying unserious franchise.
No, I said it was an unserious decision to start Jitty, and that's exactly what it is.
I don't care. It's a one-off. And you let everybody in there rotate.
And the Memphis Grizzlies lost. We missed 3 free throws because, like, Jitty starting was not what we missed. 3 free throws at the end. We had countless opportunities. We still had 17 turnovers. Like, we had countless opportunities to win this game, whether or not Jitty started or I started. It didn't matter. When you turn the ball over like that, you missed 3 free throws late.
Yeah,
I've seen
21 of 21.
Yeah,
on the game.
You missed 3 of your last 5. Yeah.
Right.
The ones that matter. Jock shoots 68% from the free throw line. I wasn't counting on those, but Jaron, who's normally money from the free throw line, went 1 of 1. And Josh
shoots around 80 to 85%. He's a really good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
It's just
one of those things. You didn't execute down the stretch. You didn't close it out. We've seen this against the Hawks. I was at the game last year when Dyson took the ball away from Dez for the game-winning layup. I was also at the Knicks game. Then OG beat us on the final. Like, I was at a couple of those games when that little stretch happened. And you just didn't close. We just don't have a closer. That, Ja is that. He just didn't have it last night. 23 and 12 is a great stat line from Ja coming back. He just didn't have the closing last night, is what I'm saying. He just didn't make the shot. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is.
I have Ja was put in an impossible situation because of missed free throws. And he did miss one. So I mean, like, it's only him too. But the finish, he didn't have an opportunity to really finish it. And I think the conversation I've heard the most, and I had the post game bounce last night, so I heard it immediately, was not taking a timeout 4 seconds to go. I was a fan of it. I was a fan of it. Like, I know that Josh said that they kind of put them in a bad spot. The Hawks did, because they were kind of expecting them to shoot earlier in the shot clock, and they didn't. And so it only allowed them 4 seconds to go the length of the court. And he could have called a timeout, but there was no Dyson Daniels on the court at that time.
Dyson was off the court. They are the worst transition defense team in the league. Jalen caught the rebound with 6 seconds to go, got the ball to Ja. He got the ball with about 4.5 seconds, which is plenty of opportunity for him to get to the rim. The Hawks just got back more effectively than we thought they would, cut off a drive, and he had to settle for a long 3, which, as Jalen Johnson put it after the game last night, I like our chances when Ja's taking a long 3. It is what it is. Like, it's just, I don't have any issue. I don't have any issue. That's what I'm saying. Like, defense kind of stepped in, and he had a bad dribble. I have no issue, because people crucified Taylor Jenkins for taking timeouts last year in this situation. The same ones that are crucifying T.I. for not. I thought it was the right call. We are a transition offense. We're the 24th ranked half court offense. I thought it was a good call, good no timeout call. It just didn't get executed, and it is what it is.
Listen, despite all of the, shenanigans off the court with Ja Morant we've talked about all season, like last night, I don't care what you think about Ja Morant. It's a 2-point game, and you got under 10 seconds to go. Like, he's getting the shot, and anybody who's calling for him not to take the shot, I question. Like, we've seen this. Yeah, some of y'all have forgotten the call 12 phenomenon. Like, we do this. Right. This works. Yeah. And so like, it didn't work tonight or last night. So let's not crucify everybody when it doesn't work. We've seen
it work. We lost a Wednesday night game to the Hawks. Now we play again Friday night and Sunday. We got plenty of opportunity to go back out and get
hopefully Snowmageddon.
they'll play. The games will be played, but I
don't know that the Pelicans can get to Memphis.
The Pelicans, I'm not overly worried about. It'd be the Nuggets on Sunday because that's when it'll have accumulated and set in. And I mean, maybe they could put some treatment out, but it's going to be dicey over the weekend. That's for sure. But Drew, in spite of the loss last night, I think we have seen a lot of players, and I titled this episode "Addition by Subtraction." Because we've seen some guys step up and benefit from Ja Morant being out, Jaren's slow start, the injuries to Zach Edey and Scottie Pippen Jr. And so I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about what players have kind of benefited from it. I mean, you hate to say that because obviously we're better when Jaren is playing good basketball like he has been of late. We're obviously better when Ja Morant's on the court. But, like, who are some of the players in your mind that have benefited from like those guys being out? I'll start because I've stand for this guy for a long time. I think Gigi has been a massive benefactor of this just because you've had to throw him out there because we've had such long injury, lists and people being out that you've had to be creative with rotations and minutes at times. And I think Gigi's time in the hustle, T.I. said he was going to coach him harder than he's coached anybody before. And I think Gigi's just willingness to get out there and do the little things that he has not always done. He got an assist last night. He had an amazing, that was like street ball, amazing spin move for the dunk was fantastic. I think Gigi has been a nice positive out of some of the lost minutes that we've had this year.
Yeah, about Gigi, I don't know that he fits in this segment under this category for me because I don't know that this has anything to do with Gigi's improvement. Hasn't been because anybody's been out.
But we've been able to. What I'm saying with Gigi, I agree. But what I'm saying is we've been able to see more minutes because of the people being out.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'm looking at this in the lens of Ja Morant being out a lot, Zach Edey being out a lot. Like the wings, there's been a lot of wings. He still could be getting DNPs right now. But he has improved drastically and just simplified his own game. And that's the story for Gigi.
For me, the reason I'm including Gigi at the wing, yes, I hear what you're saying. And that's the more like focused view of it, like directly behind Ja, directly behind Edey. But because of the laundry list of other injuries and as many guys as T.I. plays, Gigi's probably got a little bit more run than he would have because at the beginning of the season, he wasn't getting any.
No,
and a lot. And most of this is not taking anything away from Gigi and his hard work because that's a large reason why he's getting the run he is because he's worked hard to make it happen. But that was just my thought process behind it.
Yeah. I would say I'll go with the obvious, like Cam Spencer getting a lot of run early on and being good immediately went from a guy that was going to be on the end of the bench and mop up time, specialty kind of situations where you need a shooter, you need some scoring pretty quick, floor spacing. That was going to be his role. He was going to be one blade of the Swiss Army knife of the Grizzlies offense. And because of Ja going down, Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., and even Javon Small, like you got a lot of Cam Spencer, and he was drinking out of a fire hose, and he's just been incredible. And he has elevated his game from the end of the bench sharpshooter guy to like backup point guard. Like there's a legit shot that they are going to pick between him and or Scotty and Javon Small are going to be competing for the third guard, next year. Like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm looking at. And that's because an opportunity opened up with the horrible amount of front court injuries we had.
Yeah, exactly.
Backcourt.
And he has done it in a role that he's not typically, he's not a point guard in the NBA. He is more of a shooting guard. And he stepped in and he's had double-digit assists on multiple occasions. He had 11 points last night. He traded double-digit assists for double-digit points last night because you have Ja Morant back running the offense, and Cam can be more of that catch-and-shoot three-point threat that he is. I think Cam Spencer is is the most obvious and the most benefited. There it is, of the players because he's had to step up and play in the role that Ja Morant has been out of. I think we can also credit a lot of, Jock Landale would be the other obvious one. He was having to start, but now that we're getting some guys back, Santi's been playing more. He's been able to slide back to that true backup five position, and he is a He thrives off the bench. Had 13 points, 11 boards last night off the bench. It's another good Jock Landale night. If you're getting 13 and 11 from your backup big, you call that a win every day and twice on Sundays, because that's winning basketball. He's in there scrapping for offensive. He had 6 offensive rebounds last night in a game where I watched the Hawks on 2 different possessions get 4.
Yep.
4 offensive rebounds in the same possession. So, like, kudos to Jock. He's definitely taking advantage of this. I also think it's helped kind of develop Cedric Coward, because he's been thrown to the fire a bit more, not having our full backcourt, with Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ja all being out. Ced got thrown into that 2 guard a little bit sooner than we probably would have. And he's flourished. He was the only Grizzly he was plus 11 last night. Jaren was plus 7. Jalen was plus 3. There was only 3 in the positive last night. And he played great. That dunk on that oop from Ja he called it at the side of the rim, bobbled it, and dunked at the front of the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Plays great defense. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier, and I saw that of the players who are having success guarding SGA, he's like 4th or 5th, guarding one of the premier scorers in our league, and just continues to be an incredible player for the Grizzlies. And we're just scratching the surface. Like, there's still so much more to go and more growth for Cedric, but he has benefited from getting more run and more like responsibility thrown on him early, Drew, in this, like being the guy that takes those late shots, being the guy that you draw up plays for, is only going to serve and benefit him down the road.
Yeah, I mean, he's got with Cam, I just always thought he was going to be a starter. I mean, with Ced, he should have been a starter from day one, and we did the KCP thing. And I don't really know how he would look differently with John Jaren if he had a whole season of them. I tend to think that they've just put so much into him and instilled so much confidence in him that he was going to have moments where he was just going to have the possession to himself one way or the other, just as a
Here
rookie.
it is. I found it. Sorry to interrupt. Players who had the most to least success guarding SGA in the 25-26 season, minimum 12 field goals. Number 1 is Andrew Wiggins, holding to 28% from the field. Cedric Coward is tied for 3rd with Dennis Schroeder, Julian Champagny at 41.7% from the field.
That's pretty good list.
I mean, and Jalen is 12th at 64, but like
Andrew
rookie.
Wiggins is getting insider information from his brother, Aaron Wiggins, who plays for the Thunder. So, yeah, I mean, I think those are all good cases to be made. I would much rather just have Ja Morant play basketball and us not have to talk about this. But it is nice. We talked about this a couple years ago where it was like, oh, it's a lost season. It was the year that Ja had the suspension and the shoulder injury, and it was the year that Gigi and Vince Williams Jr. was what we were talking about then. It seems like, oh, well, we wouldn't have had this opportunity if the season didn't just go to crap anyways. You can see silver linings to this, but you know.
Yeah. As we start to transition off the Grizzlies and finally get to talk about college football after trying to talk about it all week long, unless there's anything else about the Grizzlies,
Let's
the game
do
last
football.
night. Yeah, it is what it is. It was a Luke Kennard night. Luke Kennard's gonna be sore for a month for all the shots he took last night. He took more shots last night. Yeah, 18 points, 7 of 9 from the field, more shots than he ever took for us. So screw that guy. But on this day, in the year of our Lord 2006, the late great Kobe Bean Bryant went for 81 points, 6 boards, 3 steals. He was 28 of 46 from the field, and in an 81-point game, he was only plus 25.
What was the final score?
I don't remember. Because I think it was against the Raptors. Oh,
it was against
122-104. The Lakers won 122 to 104.
By 18, he was a plus 28. That sounds good.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Plus 25. Shout out to the late.
They didn't beat him by 81. He just scored 81.
He scored 81. You would think it'd be a little bit higher, but I mean, plus 25 is great. Like if you're plus 25,
I watched a Grizzlies game one time where they were up by 81. So it's a wild ride.
It's a wild ride. And we've had guys who have been minus 25. So Anyway,
in tie ball games.
Yeah, exactly. Stick around in this brief commercial break. We've got a funny clip from the Tigers post-game live show last night that y'all have got to see on the other side of this quick commercial break. Oh, before we head there, I forgot about this. Our Bucks best bet today. We are proudly presented by FanDuel. Our Bucks best bet today is another PRA total for the Lakers and Clippers game late tonight. Doesn't tip off till late, but the over/under on FanDuel, you can play if you place this FanDuel same game parlay, you get plus 1040, plus 1,000, plus 1,024 odds. Lucas over 48.5. Kawhi over 33.5, LeBron over 34.5, and Harden over 40.5 on the points, rebounds, and assists. Total gets you plus 124. Drew, they're calling this the PR Apex, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like it.
I don't either, because some of the names
Verdict's
on this
in.
list, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what, Drew? I know you've got a hard out. I'll play the commercial all the way out the door. On the other side of this brief bumper video, we're going to dive in on college football.
We're going to continue the content, but you have to promise me, everybody, you're going to watch the commercials. You got to watch them. We're going to give them to you. We're going to give you the content first, though.
Exactly. College football first. But we did finally come to the culmination of college football this past Monday night, Drew, with the actually kind of a really good game. I thought Indiana was going to kind of roll away from them there, but Miami's defense kept punching above their weight class. Mark Fletcher got a bit downhill in the second half, but Fernando, I keep want to call him Francisco, Fernando Mendoza with the John Elway-esque or Jeremiah Love run-esque from last year run to kind of seal the game late. And then Carson Beck. Oh, I'm just butchering it. Let's start over. Hey, I'm Rusty. It's the 2 Buck Sports Show. Carson Beck overthrows his receiver by 48 yards to end the game, and Indiana wins their first ever national championship at 16-0.
Yeah, just an incredible game. Great way to cap it off. I thought it was going to be a blowout. A lot of people thought it was going to be a blowout. But it just goes to show you an elite defensive line can neutralize anything. An elite defensive line can neutralize anybody. You saw with the, 17 or I guess at that point it was like 19-0 Patriots back when they met the Giants in the Super Bowl. It was like, well, you could be 19-0 and have Randy Moss and all that kind of stuff, but we've got Osi Umenyiora and all these dudes that's just going to smash Tom Brady all game long. And then we'll see how good the offense works. And Miami is just physical up front and had a hard time. Everything was just hard for both teams.
Yeah.
And it allowed Miami to have a chance to go win that game.
It was a struggle. It was a good football game. If you like physical, hard-nosed football, that's what that game was. And so kind of looking at the college football season as a whole, like I think we learned a lot this year, Drew, about our schools, about college football in general, kind of some overarching themes. Like I think the Blue Bloods are kind of, I won't say in trouble, but I'm curious to see how much this NIL era, especially now that we're going into rev share, is that going to be more of the moving away from the Alabamas and Georgias and Ohio States, who, I mean, Georgia and Ohio State were right there, and allowing teams like Indiana, Miami, Ole Miss, maybe Texas Tech, Oregon, if they can figure it out, to have more of a shot at a national championship than we've seen as of late.
Well, I've been saying this for a long time, and it came across as homerism because I was making the case for Ole Miss, and in a post-Lane Kiffin society where it's like you've got to quit looking at Blue Bloods the same way. It doesn't matter how many banners you've got in the 80s, 90s, 20s, even late 20 teens, because the game changed in 2021. Look at who's having success in 2021 further. And because that's when NIL went in. And you've seen teams like Alabama have a really hard time sustaining success throughout a whole season because the model that they were dominating with is not the model you're playing with anymore. And you look at teams who have benefited, and it's Indiana, it's Ole Miss, it's Texas Tech. I mean, it's just random.
It's teams who figured it out. You mean to say that Alabama's not as good now that they can't pay? They're the only ones paying their players? Well,
everybody paid players. But Alabama's model, their business model, their pitch was like, you come here, you can't leave for one, but they don't say that in the pitch. You can't leave. That's illegal. But you're going to bide your time, and you're going to start seeing, you're going to maybe redshirt. By the second year that you're active, you will start getting playing time. Your third year, you're going to start, and your fourth year, you're going to go in the first 20 picks of the draft.
That's it. You're going to be learning behind 5 stars. You're going to be playing against 5 stars. And by the time you get to play, you'll be on an NFL roster. And by the way, here's a little extra cash. But I'm curious to see what schools are going to continue to figure it out. Obviously, Kurt Cignetti figured it out like bandits. And he didn't go get all the flashy guys, the 5 stars that are in the portal. He went got a bunch of hard-nosed, hard-working, seasoned players that were 3. And like Mendoza came out of high school was a 2-star. Most of their offensive line were 3 stars. That corner who had that big pick early or late in the game was a 3-star out of high school. But he does a really good job of working the NIL system, and is just a whale of a talent evaluator. And that's huge. That's a huge, attribute in this day and age. You have to have the coffers to pay him, but you got to be able to go find those guys that are going to be able to translate and that skill set's going to transfer into your system. And Kurt Cignetti found every single one that did.
It's not just about stacking up 5 stars. You've got to build a team unit. This is the ultimate team sport, is football. And whereas Ole Miss last year had one of the best rosters in the SEC, you couldn't get it done because it wasn't up top. It wasn't unison. And this year, Ole Miss's team was not as talented, but they were able to stick together in close games. It's the same thing with Indiana, except to a higher degree. They don't have they could have went and got they've got the money. They could have went and got Sorsby, or they could have went and got Levitt, or they handpicked Josh Hoover. He would be their quarterback. They've got they're 7th, I think, in the portal rankings after a national championship. Now that may come up now that they can actually devote some time to it. It's not about what it used to be about, and you've got to quit expecting Alabama to go 14-0. You got to quit expecting Georgia or anybody to go 14-0. I thought we'd never see an undefeated national champion again.
And it was on the 50th anniversary. On the 50th anniversary of Bobby Knight going undefeated for an Indiana basketball championship, same year. So just some of the coincidences are wild, but just kind of a quick wrap up on our school's seasons. I'll go first. The best thing about Mississippi State's football season is we're 3 weeks away from baseball season. 3 weeks from tomorrow, baseball starts off. Look, we got better. Like I'm not going to sit here and just berate like what was an improved season. I'm frustrated because we were so close to being so much better. We're 3 plays away from being 8-5 or 8-4, but instead we're 5-7. You take back that pass against Florida, you kick the field goal to win. You get a stop against Texas, you win. You get a stop or score that touchdown late against Tennessee, and that's 3 different wins. And so I'm happy with the progress, but we've not done a lot to address the offensive line in the portal. I'm going to need to see a lot more this summer out of Levy. His seat is definitely warming up. He's not on the cusp of getting fired now, but if we have another season next year like we did this year with some of the coaching gaffes, the lack of improvement, we've got a lot of guys coming back. There's going to be some high expectations. Kamario Taylor, Fluff Bothwell is coming back. Anthony Evans is coming back. That speedy receiver. All of our linebackers are coming back. We got Kelly Jones back, who was projected to be a top 20 pick, is coming back next year to improve his draft stock to try and be a top 10 pick. There's going to be a lot of expectations next year. And so I think that I'm happy for the progress, and I was left wanting more.
Yeah. The biggest red flag for Mississippi State is that you're just not getting – it doesn't seem to be you're getting the players. And so you're going the Mullen route. And I'm talking about blue chips. Like you're not getting anything in the transfer portal, really. You're not getting the high school guys outside of the state of Mississippi. So the Dan Mullen route is okay, we're going to develop Dak Prescott and everybody around him, and they're going to get 3 stars. Can Levy develop? That'll be what makes or breaks him. And in this day and age where you see Kurt Cignetti take Indiana in 2 years to a national championship, you're not just going to have a lot of patience in the SEC to just increment by 1 game every year. As it may be working, but the timeline has been.
Indiana had the worst winning percentage of any college football program,
and now they're
won a natty in
worst.
2 years. But they won a natty in 2 years.
Listen, for Ole Miss, it was everything that you could have dreamed of. I didn't see it coming. I picked 9-3, and I said if I missed by a game, it'd be 8-4. You tell me that your starting quarterback goes out in game 2 and doesn't play again, and the guy that replaces him is a D2 transfer, and you think like, okay, Lane Kiffin's gone, but it's not going to be to leave a playoff team. It's because we're 5-4-8, and who cares? It was a magical season. Your only loss in the regular season is to Georgia. You avenged that loss in the Sugar Bowl, which is the greatest win in Ole Miss history. And you hosted a home playoff game, which is the greatest day in the state of Mississippi's sports history. And then you somehow get to watch a national championship game and think like we were, again, one play away from competing in that, and felt like we could have held up. The team that beat us in the last minute, got beat in the last minute in the championship game. And so just right there, it was just a great season that was unfortunately clouded by coaching drama. But for the same reasons I've said for 2 years now, it's like, I believe in the organizational structure of Ole Miss. They have done really well in the portal, despite your coach taking an SEC job down the road. You lost 4 players to them. That's unheard of, and shows the buy-in that Pete's getting. And they got the number 2 ranked portal class, and get to work. You're going to get Chambliss back. You're getting Lacey back. Go to work. Keep it up.
Yeah. I mean, what was a historic, epic season has a little bit of a black eye because of the Lane Kiffin drama, but to be able to go
black eyes, Lane's got a black eye. Ole Miss doesn't.
I'm going to start over before I so rudely interrupted, before I even got to finish my point. What was a historic season for Ole Miss has a little bit of a black eye because of what Lane Kiffin did, that was then corrected with the college football playoff run. If you'd be patient, you would let me finish my
But
thought.
I disagree.
So heading into the college football playoff, there was a black eye on the season. Not because anything Ole Miss did, but because the Lane Kiffin drama was overarching. We didn't talk about. We sat here on the show for 6 weeks and didn't talk about Ole Miss football, but we talked about Lane Kiffin. It gets a black eye. I don't care what you say. You just want to disagree me to disagree. But anyway, I'm trying to be nice to Ole Miss here. And you know what? Just for that, I'm done. Ole Miss sucks. They got what they deserved with Lane Kiffin. They got what they deserved by losing. And they got P.D. Golden is going to lead this program into the ground for the next couple of years. Forget any nice thing I was about to say.
Yeah. Well, you stay on that side. That's okay.
Yeah.
We know that's how you really feel.
I was trying to be unbiased here, but anyway. So heading into next year, as I know you got to get out of here, we're up against the clock. The early FanDuel lines for your next national champion has dropped next year, and a little bit surprising to me, Drew, that Notre Dame right there at the top, plus 650. Ohio State is tied with Notre Dame, plus 650 for the best odds this far out. Indiana plus 700, LSU with new coach Lane Kiffin plus 1,400. Any of these surprise you or stand out?
No, it seems like the greatest hits. It's the same ones we're going to see every year. I don't know. I'm okay with Notre Dame being up there. They got a returning quarterback. They were 10-2. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with all
Marcus Freeman back. Yeah, getting Marcus Freeman back makes sense. Ole Miss clocks in at plus 3,500, which is tied with Oklahoma, slightly behind USC and Alabama. Let's see. Again, Georgia plus 1,100, Texas Tech and Texas A&M both tied at plus 1,500, right behind LSU. Like you said, it's the usual suspects until proven otherwise. I'm excited to see what if there's like a Cinderella run in a Oklahoma or a Texas Tech or a Utah or somebody that's out there that's like beefing up in the portal, getting some guys, that putting together a class like Kurt Cignetti, because I don't think any of us looked at Kurt Cignetti's class and was like, oh man, he crushed the transfer portal. But he found system guys that worked. And so maybe there's a Cinderella out there that we don't even know about yet, because we truly, we thought Indiana was going to be better, but we didn't know about Indiana until the Big Ten championship game. It was like, all right, this is for real.
Yeah, bet on Ole Miss now. That's all I'm saying. 3,500?
Yeah. If you want to give away, but bet the farm so you can give it away.
I got Heisman votes from your quarterback is coming back. The best running back the SEC is coming back. I don't really know what the downside is.
We'll see.
Scared money don't make money.
But that's going to do it for your Thursday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets. Got my guy, Drew Gann, here with me Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. We appreciate the comments popping off and helping us drive this show as always. Tune in at 1 o'clock for the Anthony Sain Show. Y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. And go pay for some bread and milk, folks.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.